Lock up and sleep are really just the same thing. Really don't need that, but whatever. I think I want to hire like 2 more guards, maybe. And I want to set up patrols. I think at night we can have the guards patrol here. I bet there are already people trying to dig tunnels here. We should do a shakedown. It was actually one of the new features in the new patch. There's a tunnel search down here. Suspect an escape attempt is afoot. Order your guards to search behind all toilets. We really need to get some kind of perimeter fence built too. Let's but like you said, let's get those sprinklers built. You know how much ground they cover? Will 1 sprinkler in the middle of this room cover the whole kitchen, or do you think I need 2? Let's move that out of the way. Sprinklers probably need pipes too, I imagine. Still no food for the staff. That was not right here. Logistics. Food distribution. Maybe we're seeing them eat it so fast we're not even noticing it. Yeah, I'll start with just 1 between the stoves for now. I'll put 1. Can I build it over this? Nope. Just right here then for now. Yeah, staff still has a high food need. Staff have 20 staff are concerned about this. Staff need to eat. We'll do so in staff-only canteens or staff rooms. Food will be delivered for your staff, so they don't have to eat the same slop as the prisoners. Well, it doesn't look like it's being delivered. Pipes. Sprinkler. Sprinkler. Maybe we do need another stove and another sink. We could definitely use another sink and maybe another cook. Let's go sink. Build the sink here. That seems fine. Let's put a cooker there. Let's get staff. Cook. We lost our other viewer. Apparently we were not entertaining enough. Would I recommend this? Oh, man. I think City Skylines is going to be one of the games I play after this one. I just finished RimWorld, doing a series on that, and that's on my YouTube channel if you wanted to look at that one. That's also one of my favorites. Man, I would have to put RimWorld, Prison Architect, and City Skylines as, like, almost on par. Prison Architect is probably one of my favorite management sims of all time. Cities, if you like SimCity, if you were if you were into the whole city building thing, that's probably the best one ever. SimCity 2000 and stuff is definitely a classic game. But if City Skylines had been out at the same time as SimCity 2000, it just would have beaten it for sure. And there's a lot of content. There's a lot of, with the Paradox games. It's funny, Paradox just bought this game as well. So I imagine we're going to start seeing a lot of DLC, because that's what they like to do with their games. City Skylines, oh man. If I had to just pick one game to only play for the rest of my life, if it would either be this or City Skylines, it would probably be Cities. Yeah, RimWorld is a bit expensive right now. I'm just getting into city builders. I'm more of a turn-based player usually. The thing is, with Prison Architect, you can buy the game right now, and you have the full game. City Skylines, even though if it's on sale, there's like a handful of DLC with that game that you really need in order to enjoy it, I feel like. I mean, you don't really need it, but I've bought most of the DLC for that game, and I can't imagine playing it without some of the DLC. Yeah. I think, so Paradox just put out their first patch for this game, like last week or something like that. So I imagine we're going to see more updates coming. Yeah, see the vanilla game for Cities, it's good, but you really need the some of the DLC for it. The After Dark DLC is one that's definitely needed. The transit one is great. I also like the parks. I don't remember which one has the districts, but the one that first starts getting into the whole district painting thing is really needed. And then what they did in their future DLCs, that they just built on top of that whole district mechanic thing. So you have a district for a park, and then you can place park buildings. And for industries, it was the same thing. You paint like this industry district, and then you place the different buildings. So they've really just kept reusing that whole district mechanic a lot. The game is great. I love it, but again, you kind of will need to buy a bunch of DLC with it to really get the most out of it. Whereas Prison Architect, you just get it and you have the full game. So I guess in that sense, if you are budget conscious and you want to get the most bang for your buck, then I would probably get this game. This game is super fun too. I loved going back and watching some of the two guys that used to do the developer insight videos for this game before they sold the game to Paradox. Those videos were absolutely hilarious, and they were going over all the new mechanics and stuff. I think those are on the Steam. You can find those on the Steam page. Yeah, Surviving Mars is fun too. I haven't gotten any of the DLC with that game though. I think I want to wait for them to maybe make some more changes to it. I did like a couple playthroughs, and I feel like, once you start building out your base and your colony, you start expanding, it just becomes like a major like population management thing where your guys are breeding and they're making more people, and you need to have more space for them, and it's almost like you're trying to keep a lot of plates spinning. So it's fun for sure, and maybe some of the other DLC expand on that a bit. But yeah, I'll probably go back to that too at some point. So we were just going to start looking at patrols for our guards. Actually, you know what? It's nighttime. Let's do a tunnel search. See how this goes. This is one of the new features for this patch. You can specifically check for tunnels. And if I remember correctly, the cells that are on an outer wall are more likely to build tunnels. Did you ever get into Stellaris? That was a fun game. Only that game has changed a lot, apparently. I played the original version, if you will, of that game. We did find some contraband here. But so far, no tunnels yet. Stellaris is a fun game. The problem they had with that was you would get these, they would call them doom stacks or death stacks, where you would basically just, whoever had the largest army all piled together in one group would win the fight. There wasn't any strategy around having like space battles and stuff like that. So whoever just had the biggest army just always won, which, you know, I guess sort of makes sense. But you know, you'd get these AI civilizations that would just roll in with these massive stacks of ships, and just I would just get cleaned out every time. And maybe that's supposed to be part of the game. Similar to how RimWorld works. Also, Crusader Kings. Crusader Kings is probably one of my all-time favorite games. I don't know if it's really good for a stream. I've thought about trying to play it on stream, but man, that game is really fun. All about the intrigue and the bloodlines and the medieval family stuff. Yeah, I need to go back and look at Stellaris. They did make a lot of changes. Okay, so we have education now. We got tasers. We could get body armor. I do want to build a maximum security wing. Maybe, yeah, death row. We definitely want to get an electric chair for sure. Start doing some executions. Yeah, CK2 is really fun. Some people, like all of the inheritance laws and things like that, get so complicated that I always end up screwing something up. I finally was able to forge the Scandinavian Empire with some Vikings, and that was probably the most fun I had. I had conquered the whole northern part of the map, and then I wasn't paying attention, and somehow some other bloodline, some other person ended up becoming an heir to half my kingdom, and I just lost it all, and I couldn't get it back, and stuff like that happens to me all the time because I'm not well versed in the law there, how that's supposed to work. But man, that is a fun game. Okay. Got our infirmary, visitation common room. What's next? Let's look at grants. Security procedure. Hire security chief, we have that. Hire 10 guards, have it. Unlock patrols, have it. Assign 3 guards to patrol routes. So we basically have this one. Let's do that. We just need patrols, which is what we wanted to do. Let's go to deployment. Guard patrols. And I think for the nighttime, I want to patrol here. A patrol here. Do I place the guards on it? Oops. There's one. There's one. There's 2 patrols. We could have someone just patrolling the hallway. I like that. That was an easy contract. That one's done. 20 grand in the bank. Let's see, what's next? Government security ratings. Assign 2 dog handlers to a dog patrol and 2 armed guards. We could do the prisoner engagement, because we do need to get some laundry going. That's what we need to do. We are overdue for a laundry room. We could build a laundry room off the common room here, maybe. That way it's going to be more centered to the rest of our prison when we finally build it out. Should we do that? I think so. What's the replay value? Get to sell your prison to fund your next one, right? You know, to be honest with you... Oh, hey, thanks for the follow, man. To be honest with you, I don't know if I've ever made it that far with selling a prison to fund the next one. I think you can. You can also get fired. I feel like there's something in here. There's programs. There's like a rating or something like that, right? Where is that? Prison grading. 0 prisoners have been released. 10 prisoners must be released before this report can be completed. Graphs. I think you can sell your prison. Hugo, help our friend out. Can you sell your prison? I think you can. Replay value. I mean, there's different maps. Like, you can have some maps that have lakes on them, more forests, derelict buildings that you can reuse. There are different ways to build your prison too. I'm in this playthrough, I'm kind of trying to have one large building, but I know you can do builds where you have you know, like a big large fence that surrounds the whole perimeter, and then a bunch of like several smaller buildings. I know some people do that. I think we'll build our armory as a separate building. If you have enough money, we could probably build a perimeter fence right now. That would be interesting to try out, to sell it and fund the next one. All right, laundry room. Gonna build it off the common room. Let's go brick. That seems like a decent size. And I think we'll use a staff door on the laundry. We'll eventually have our hallway come out and maybe wrap around this way. Let's kick the speed up a bit. Let's take that grant too. I don't think we ever actually took it. Still haven't figured out why our food isn't being delivered into our serving table here. We did build another sink. Yeah, that would make sense. Sell the prison and then then give you a big boost to start the next one. Although really, if you're smart at the beginning, it really isn't too bad. You can see we've sort of amassed a solid chunk of change here. The longer the consecutive days you go without an incident, your income from that will go up. So if you can keep an orderly prison without any fights or incidents, you'll get more money. All right, our room is built. We need power lines in there. We need lights.